It's Carl and Brendan here from Games, Brains and a Head-Banging Life. And as of today, as of the time of recording, Bloodstock went big, announcing their brand new Saturday headliner and a few other bands and a few bands that won't be playing. I actually missed the second part originally. And it was only in the comments that people were like, oh.
Yeah. Do you know, like, as well, because just the natural way that social media is, the rest of it was in the continue reading kind of thing. Like, you know, they already said in the top, yep. Merciful Fate replace, who's replacing them. So you could kind of stop there and be like, oh, okay, that's that done. Mm. And actually, if you click the little button to go read more, there's a lot more.
Some of it quite significant. Some of it's personally disappointing for bands I wanted to see.
Yeah, sure.
But we are in a situation where you really just constantly have to shrug your shoulders and go, you know, COVID. I'm a little worried. And this is more of a general thing, not specific to Bloodstock. I'm a little worried that for the next couple of years, everyone's going to get away with murder by going, well, you know, COVID, right? And it's going to be used as a get-out excuse for everything. And it's like, oh, well, I mean, like I said, it sounds like a knock on Bloodstock. Oh, we're using COVID excuse. Well, no, obviously there's logistics and people traveling and stuff like that. I think the biggest surprise for me in regards to the headliner announcement is it wasn't at all. We could never have guessed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think you know, like, yeah, because of the COVID thing. The problem is that we don't really know. I mean, none of us know, but I'm assuming there's better knowledge somewhere, like what the real problems, like the proper problems are with getting banned from certain places. You know, I know obviously there will be issues, but like it's hard to understand what drives the decision. So a lot of the guessing, I guess, when it came to who was going to replace them it would have to be a UK band. And I think that's what drove a lot of the guesswork, was that the only safe bet would be a UK band so that there weren't any travel involved. So that instantly threw tons of people off. Although I you know what, I wouldn't, you know, from some of the names that were being levied, I'm extremely happy with the announcement.
Let's talk about that. We have, in many videos over the years of covering Bloodstock, we have always talked about how much we hate the period between when's a headliner going to be announced because of the prediction thread, so to speak, that crop up on social media. And I don't think it's been as bad as this, from the most obscure band possible being mentioned, and then the argument being, well, they are big enough and so on. I think the one that made me laugh the most was Gwar. Because I saw Gwar live a few years back with the Canadian progressive band. I've forgotten who they are. But Gwar were playing Islington Academy in London. And now they can headline Bloodstock. Yeah. And then there were other ones. The Killswitch Engage one came up again.
Every time that fell. The one thing I don't think, unless I switched off for a few seconds, I don't think we've actually said who the replacement headliner is yet. So obviously the German thrash legends, I think, is a fair word for them. Creator, who themselves played at Bloodstock. That'll teach me how to put something on silent. Who themselves played at Bloodstock. How many years ago was it? Was it
15? Was
it? Yeah. They were on the main stage. They were reasonably high up, so you know it seems like a natural, I guess, could be deemed a natural progression to go up the next few steps. But
17.
Yeah. So anyway, that's who it was. Yeah. I think the biggest one you know, it's a weird thing because when I say concerned, it wasn't really going to have that much of an impact on me, to be honest with you, because the way I was kind of looking at it with this announcement is that I wasn't too bothered about Merciful Fate being not a fan, other than ticking a little box to say I've seen Merciful Fate. Yeah. That was it. I think we've spoken recently even about probably wouldn't watch the whole set.
Yeah.
You know, so the reality of it is that the very worst that could have happened for me was that they replaced one band I didn't like with another band I didn't like. And that didn't change anything for me.
Yeah.
So this is a very good announcement for me because I'm a big fan of Creator, especially their last 5, 6, 7 years worth of Creator. So the new version of it, because the band's been through a lot of changes over time.
Of course.
You know, and they're very relevant. You know, it's not a rolling out the retiree sort of you know, thing. They've got new music due out this year, a new album due out this year. You know, so yeah, I think it's a good shout. I do. I think it would have been a good shout if it was announced originally. I would have been like, oh, pretty cool.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I agree. Initially, I felt underwhelmed, and then I was kind of like, "Why are you feeling underwhelmed? Like, you didn't really care that Merciful Fate were there anyway. Like, other than, like you said, a box ticking band. It
yeah,
didn't really change anything." And I was kind of like, "Well, it's Crater. I like Crater a lot. I don't think I'm as into them as you are." I ended up being pedantic about it with my wife, and was kind of like, "Well, is Crater a ticket seller? Like, if you were on the fence about going to Bloodstock, has Creator made you go, oh yeah, okay, I really want to see them?" But it was actually Creator's statement that won me over. And it was, I took the statement had a lot of heart in it, and it was, as I even got it here, I don't know if
I think they put it up on their own page.
there was something about that. Yeah, there was something about it, and they talked about, making sure they live up to it, and doing a big, bringing a show, and making sure it's epic, stuff like
There
that.
you go. I've got it. I mean, this is the same one. It's pretty short and sweet, but it's essentially Hordes. We are very excited to headline Bloodstock Festival for the first time. This means so much to Creator, since all the previous shows we've played there were exceptional. We promise you the most brutal show Bloodstock has ever seen. Be prepared.
Yeah.
With loads of fire emojis.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool, right? That's cool. That kind of won me over, and was like, you know what, man? I like Creator. I like thrash metal. Ultimately, I would have only ever watched a portion of Merciful Fate and then got ready for Cattle Decapitation anyway.
Yeah, sure.
And it'll be a similar thing with Creator. I'll probably watch more of Creator than I would have Merciful Fate.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And that's that.
Yeah, that was my only negative about the whole thing. I was saying to somebody earlier on was that my getting prepared for Cattle Decapitation time has been cut into. But look, I'm happy for them. It's a band with like 30-odd year career in metal, and it seems that they're as excited about getting the opportunity to headline. So, and like you said, it's nice to see a band give a fuck about it. That as soon as Bloodstock announced it, they were on there themselves putting stuff up saying like, yes, this could be awesome, we can't wait. So I think it's good. I think in a normal year, if none of this was happening and they were announced as a Friday night headliner, it wouldn't really have, people wouldn't have batted an eyelid. I think they would have been like, okay, cool, it's nice to see them get a chance. The way that things are this year, I guess.
Yeah.
I think it's considering, and I know this maybe would have been great for some people, but considering I was fearful it was going to be Bring Me the Horizon more than anything else. I was over the moon with the Creator announcement.
Yeah, I was leaning towards Architects personally. That was I
saw that too. I mean, I wasn't quite as bothered about that, because I don't mind the Architects. Although, again, I wouldn't have been interested, I don't think, in seeing a whole headline show. I think I would have enjoyed it partially.
True.
So, I was quite happy with this. That's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, I did predictions with Lou and my wife and all that, and it was there. I couldn't. Everything was like, oh, well, this could be or it couldn't be. It's impossible to guess. I'd ask you if you were watching this video, and when it comes to sort of those sort of things, be realistic, man. Some of the stuff I saw was absurd, and then it turns into this mad over analysis of what's considered a big band or what's considered a Bloodstock band and all that stuff.
Yeah, you get so many experts come out and start telling everybody about how 3 years ago I saw them play to 100 people, therefore they can never be a headliner ever. And do you know what I mean? It's like, it's at the end of the day, only one real group of people know who can or can't be a headliner, especially this year more than anything else, because I would imagine with no this. I mean, I could be completely wrong with this, right? But the way this works in my head is that when the booking people, when they're organizing this and they go, right, we know that Merciful Fate can't play.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they had Creator on speed dial that was all set, ready to go. I would imagine there were many conversations with many promoters and booking agents and everything, trying to find the right one. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely. And I'd imagine that's exactly what they're doing now, working through some of the other replacements.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But of course, we should also add that if you are bummed out about Merciful Fate, fear not, they pretty much confirmed that they would be one of the headliners for 2022. Yeah. So opportunity will be there. There were a couple of other bands announced during this period. The first being Norse Shaman's Cedar Blot.
Yeah.
I know him.
I do now, but only because I clicked on the link. I think I can't remember if it was the main Bloodstock page or the Bloodstock VIP page that also shared an article that had a link to a YouTube video of theirs.
Right.
So I went to that to see what it was all about, and it's very interesting, to be honest with you, because when they say shaman, this sort of they're Icelandic. There's this, and if you were to go Icelandic kind of folkish, you think you kind of get into the realms of Skalmold. But the 3 videos I watched of them, they only played, I guess, what would best be described as traditional instruments that I don't think I could name. And it was very much like it was very chilled but deep kind of Viking stuff, probably like what authentic Viking music would have been.
Right.
Not Viking metal per se. I mean, they may have that in their category as well. Don't get me wrong. I've watched 3 songs. It's hardly it probably hardly does their catalog justice, if they have a catalog. I assume they do. But yeah, I mean, they were the program Vikings.
I know it, yeah.
The intro music to that. No, okay. It kind of reminded me of that anyway. If you check that out, it was all kind of like traditional drums, some really strange looking guitar style things, but it was chilled out with like that throaty singing and chanting and everything like that. So
okay, they're on Sunday on the main stage. So yeah, intriguing. Less
unknown.
Yeah, the bike was going crazy outside.
All right.
Yeah, less unknown and more easier to pigeonhole is, of course, the UK melodic death metalers Bloodshot Dawn, one of the ones who had appeared as Metal to Masters winners and have gone up and up since then. Yeah, I mean, I'm aware of Bloodshot Dawn.
Yeah, me too. It certainly suits the Bloodstock crowd.
It really does. Yeah, they're a popular choice, actually. So
yeah.
There's quite a lot of positivity surrounding.
Yeah, they're a good band.
Yeah. And the other is Evil, who are on a bit of a resurgence at the moment, I think.
Yeah. Again, not a band I would go out of my way to see, to be honest, normally, but I was quite happy to see them there. Fair play. Should be good.
Yeah, it's thrash metal. It's UK thrash metal.
Yep.
They have a new album out at the end of April, I believe, on Napalm Records. So that'll give them a bit of a back cut, a bit more music to play. And they're on the Sophie stage at a bit of a random point-ish. So who knows, that kind of thing. We are going to go through the lineup, and it's there we'll actually touch upon the bands that... Oh, no, let's do it now, actually. Let's just bring up the bands that have been cancelled, effectively. This was a bit hard reading because it's quite a fairly lengthy list, and there were some that we were quite looking forward to. So, having to cancel their plans is Philip H. Anselmo and the Illegals. Yeah, pretty gutted about that one.
Yeah, out of all of them, that was the one that probably cut deepest for me personally. And like you said, it's one of those things for this year, and there's nothing we can say that, even if we want to, that is critical. We just have to go, oh well.
Yeah, fair enough. That's it. Yeah, that is literally it. Butcher Babies also not part of the lineup now.
Yeah, another one I was interested in seeing, actually.
Yeah, and then the next one that I was, Life of Agony. No Life of Agony, man. That sucks.
Yeah.
Sacred Reich, which would have been a bucket list band, really, for both of us. Necrot, Exo, and Unto Others. They are the ones off the bill.
Yeah, and it's interesting, isn't it? Because, or maybe it's not. I was trying very, very hard to try and pick up the trend with why these bands. Do you know what I mean? Like, was it all based in a single country? Was it all based on a different part of a single country? And I couldn't pick it out. I can't, because I could obviously the Philip and some of the Illegals, I believe Butcher Babies, Sacred Reich, I know are all American. So, but then there are still so many American bands on the lineup.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so it's not an American travel thing. Maybe it's a part of, I don't know. I couldn't pick out why them ones are not all of the American bands or something, but.
It is hard to kind of work it out. Right, you're trying to work exactly what, but then there's all these other elements that you kind of forget. And it's like, you kind of presume because, heavy metal, odd nuts and all that. But what if some bands just aren't willing to take the risk?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it could be that, and fair play if that's the case. Or who knows? Like you say, we don't really know what's going on. It could be personal circumstances not connected to COVID, or it could be deaths in the family connected to, you just don't know.
Yeah. Or the more simple thing, it just doesn't match up to their plans anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we are going to fly through the lineup now, fairly fast paced of what bands are actually on it. We'll stop and we'll acknowledge when we can. So the new lineup as it currently stands, beginning with Thursday on the Sophie stage, and it's Anaheim, Raised by Owls, The Crawling, and the Night Flight Orchestra. Of those four, which one are you most intrigued by?
Oh, intrigued by probably the Night Flight Orchestra.
Fair dues.
From an intrigue perspective, though I don't think I'm going to like it.
You just want to sort of see and understand, yeah?
Yeah, but I'm quite excited about seeing Raised by Owls. So, I've got two different kind of bands there. I'm not intrigued by Raised by Owls because I know exactly what we're going to get.
Yes.
But, I think that will be a good, fun time. But yeah, I'm intrigued by the others.
Yeah, I kind of second what you're saying there. I look at Raised by Owls and I think, oh, that's when the tent will be packed. And then I'm like Crawling afterwards. And I actually musically much prefer the Crawling to every band on this list. So for me, it's like, oh, sweet. Everyone will go piss off afterwards and everyone. But like, yeah, that kind of thing. But like Brendan, I am like, all right, cool. I'm going to hang around and I'm going to see what's going on with Night Flight Orchestra. And if after 3 or 4 songs, I'm like, nah, this isn't doing anything for me, I'll bugger off then. Yeah. But it is definitely an intrigue one, just because I just don't, there's such an oddity.
I don't get it.
Yes, I don't get it. Friday then. So Friday on the Sophie stage, we begin with Deified, who are awesome. Agrona.
Yep.
Band names, man. Dog Tired, Gargantua, Nocturne, Evil, that's where they're positioned, Soin, and Bloodywood. So from that, who really has caught your eye?
Well, Evil, I think now would be pretty cool, to be honest, especially in a tent.
Yep.
I think that'd be pretty energetic.
Yeah, I think that's great.
The intrigue one for me on this side of things definitely comes from Bloodywood. I'm very interested in this, and I am so desperate to like it.
Yeah.
I really, really, really want to love it and come out of there being like, that's my new favorite thing. And I'll know before I go there, because as we get closer to the time, I'll be checking out a lot of these bands. I'm sure you'll be doing the same on my normal pre-Bloodstock playlists. But yeah, they interest me very, very much.
Yeah. I'm very, very close. I think Deified as an opener is what's really got me going. There's a lot of bands where I've heard the names, but I'm kind of just like, I don't really know anything by you, and it could be an experimentation.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm kind of intrigued by Soin as well, because I know the name, but I don't know them. But the main reason that's caused my intrigue there is that they're still above Evil, and I don't know why. I felt like Evil might even. I know they wouldn't push them to headliner because that's pushing it to the band that is their headliner, but I'm surprised that they're maybe not second to the headliner. But
you are right, because when I saw Evil, I presumed they were on the main stage.
Yeah, so did I. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Right, main stage on the Friday then. Savage Master, Lost Society, Svalbard, Acid Rain, Dark Tranquility, Skindred, and Devin Townsend. So again, we'll keep it with this. The band you're most interested in seeing and the one that intrigues you.
Well, the interest is Devin Townsend, because this will be my first time seeing Devin Townsend.
Mm-hmm.
I know we spoke again about this briefly, but it does say by request on the poster again underneath his name now.
Does it?
Yeah. On the official Bloodstock poster that they put up with their announcement today.
I'm on the website. It doesn't. Yeah. I'm on the website lineup, but it doesn't say that.
So this is like a new version of the poster, because it's obviously got all the changes and everything like that on it. But it does say Devin Townsend by request.
Okay.
So but yeah, that's my main. That's my main draw on Friday. I'm very much looking forward to seeing Devin for the first time. And I guess it's probably Svalbard.
Yeah.
I think from an intrigue perspective, I kind of know what I'm going to get with Skindred, and I know what I'm going to get with Dark Tranquility. Both bands. One band I really want to see, and one band I'm okay with catching some of.
Yeah.
I'm quite interested in Svalbard.
Yeah, I think Acid Rain fit such an oddity amongst Svalbard and Dark Tranquility and Skindred and Townsend and Lost Society. That might be that might actually turn out to be a sleeper set, because Acid Rain are awesome. That could be great. Dark Tranquility, we've talked about a lot in the past recently as well, where it's kind of like a couple of years ago, it would have been one of the most hotly anticipated sets of the weekend. Now it's kind of, I want to say lukewarm, but it's warm rather than hot.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, I'm waiting for those Atoma songs to come on. Do you know what I mean?
It's going to be quite blessed because I imagine they're going to spend a lot of it focusing on the more modern stuff than it will.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Skinned Red, I'll be looking to be anywhere else. They're going to be huge. I mean, here's the thing: I don't dislike Skinned Red. It's just I just don't care anymore about Skinned Red. But I am aware they're going to be hugely popular, and I figure that's a great opportunity for me to do a lot of other shit and not have such big crowds. So I'm hoping New Blood or potentially Eval or so on will be on during Sophie's tent at that stage. And of course, I second Devin Townsend. Not as excited about a by request as I would be if it was just Devon Townsend doing his own shit. But I've seen Devon Townsend once before, and it was during the day on the middle of a sonosphere, and it was like 40 minutes he had. So
that's like one song these days.
I can't even remember a thing about that day. That's how bad that is. Not because we drink, it's just because there was so much going on. All right, Sophie stage on the Saturday, a bit more full here. We have Video Nasties, Sharks in Your, is it Sharks in Your Mouth? Sharks in Your Mouth. Oh God, King Goat, Baylor, I've got to click on this one again, Viscera, Winterfileth, Ramajink, Memoriam, and Cattle Decapitation. Now, it goes without saying, I already know which is the band you're most looking forward to.
Yeah.
I guess what else there?
Yeah, it's obviously Cattle Decapitation of the main. To be honest with you, they're probably the main draw of the festival for me this year. If I was buying like that, to be honest, but we don't. I'm intrigued by Video Nasties because of the verbal praise that I've heard from you about them.
There's the LP.
So that could be pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's quite a few bands in this list, really, to be honest with you, that I quite like the sound of. Ramajink, good band, Winterfileth. Obviously, we know a lot about them, so there's not really an intrigue sort of side of things, but, still no less excited about seeing them.
Yeah, I agree. It's a day I look at, and I think there's a lot of more stuff that I, like I said, the ones you've mentioned, but Chuck and Memoriam as well.
Yeah,
and that's a strong day. I mean, two of the major draws for the festival for me are on that day. Video Nasties at the start, and with Cattle Decapitation at the end. I mean,
that's the sort of day that, I know you wouldn't, but you could almost do the day in the tent.
True. But then you go to the main stage, and there is some killer stuff on a Saturday too.
Yeah.
We have Conjurer, Toxic Holocaust, Silosis, Ginger, Violence, Bury Tomorrow, Paradise Lost, Dimmy Borgir, and of course the headliner now, Creator. All right, unpack that one.
Yeah, so I mean there are a lot of good bands there. It's a bit of a different one because I don't think there's a band on that list that I would say I'm most intrigued by.
True.
Do you know what I mean? I think at a push maybe Ginger, but I don't, just because I haven't seen them before, and I guess see what the fuss is about in a live environment. But I don't think I'm that intrigued about it. I think if I didn't see Ginger, I'd live. Do you know what I mean?
I think you'll have plenty of opportunities in the future too.
Yeah, I'm very happy with the headliner Creator. I'm hoping for a solid Dimmu show. Conjurer, Violence for Bucket List. Silosis, no problem with seeing there. Toxic Holocaust as well. Probably not so fussed about Paradise Lost, and although I know they're a big ticket at the moment, I'm a bit take it or leave it with Bury Tomorrow. So that's pretty much everybody. Don't get me wrong, I still want to see Bury Tomorrow. Of course I do. But I wouldn't put them down as this is the main reason I like this festival.
That is true. I can see what you're coming at. Yeah, I mean, it's a great day for me. Conjurer, right now they're on the bill at the first band on a Saturday. That'll be a big moment for them. I really hope they can do it. I think Toxic Holocaust will be super, super popular because their brand of thrash metal is fun. And it's one of those high energy things. Yeah,
they're the municipal waste of this year, aren't they?
Yeah. Silosis, Ginger, same as you. I'm intrigued by Ginger. Violence, I'm going to tick that box, but I'm not expecting great things. I really like Bury Tomorrow, but I have seen Bury Tomorrow a lot, so we'll see how that one goes. Paradise Lost, I can take or leave. Dimmy is my biggest problem. I've seen Dimmy Borgir at their best, and I've also seen them at their worst, and the worst tends to come at Bloodstock. And my worry is because I thought they might just be bumped up to headliner.
Yeah.
And the fact they're not says, oh, well, we're not going to get, basically, are we going to get Dimmu putting effort in? And there's the big question. It could be spectacular. It could just be like, oh, yeah, Dimmu doing Dimmu again. We'll see. Yeah. Sunday on the selfie stage, we've got Grave Lines, Liberty Lies, Pissed, Wolf Jaw, who the Black Tongue, Green Lung, Blasphemia, and Unleash the Archers.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know an awful lot about the first, like actually working up the order. I think Blasphemer and Unleash the Archers are probably, Unleash the Archers are the band I want to see.
Yes.
Out of them. I guess in that way, because I don't really know much about any of the others. You know, they're just a case of if I can catch some of it, then great. I don't think there's any of them in particular. You know, when I hear names like Green Lung and everything like that, I can't help but instantly go, oh, doom, sludge, fucking slow everything down, let's get high. You know what I mean? So while I like that music, especially more in a live environment than I do on a record, I wouldn't say it ever excites me about seeing it. I can enjoy it when I'm in it, but I never go like, you know, I'm never thinking like, oh my God, I really hope there's some like really slowed down sludge at this festival to get my blood pumping.
Yeah, I mean, when I look at, I don't know much by those bands either, or really at all. And I look at Green Lung and I make the presumption and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, you know what? There isn't actually that much doom around, doom or stoner. So it could be right up my street. It sounds like it should be. Yeah. So, but beyond that, I'm just saying it's really about Unleash the Archers on that day. I'm fascinated to sort of see them in a live environment. Main stage, we have Cedar Blot, which is the new band. Bloodshot Dawn, obviously. Diamond Head. On my poster, Life of Agony are still there, but it shouldn't be. So ignore that one.
They're gone on this one.
Orange Goblin, the Black Dahlia Murder, Glory Hammer, Saxon, and Judas Priest. So yeah, that one.
Yeah, so I think possibly, I don't know, mate, I'm probably got 3 bands on here that are in the kind of intrigue, really want to see category.
Yeah.
And actually the intrigue now has come a bit from the new band added today, which I'm not going to, I almost feel like I want to stop trying to say their name because I'm pretty sure I'm not saying it right every time. Cedar Blot, whatever it is. Because like genuinely, and I'm sure you'll do the same at some point, but check out some of these videos. They are not what you would expect at all. So that's quite interesting, you know, all the traditional, authentic, old school kind of instruments and that. I think it could be quite cool to see.
Cool.
But the other 2 bands for me are still Glory Hammer and the Black Dahlia Murder. Glory Hammer more for a hope of a nice big power metal fucking extravaganza, to be honest. A nice kind of Sunday afternoon wake up, kind of energetic but fun energetic. And Black Dahlia Murder I've not seen before, but I'm a big fan, you know, so I really want to see them, and I think they could be really good. I hope their sound doesn't get lost on the stage, but you know, because it is that kind of crunchy deathcore you know, stuff. But then we saw bands like Thy Art Is Murder last year, and you know, In the Wind, and they smashed it with their sound, so it could be really, really good. That's not to say that I don't want to see Priest or Saxon or anyone like that, but you know, I don't look at that list and instantly go, "Oh my God, it's about seeing Priest." You know, Priest is always good. Seen him quite recently enough, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I second everything you're saying. Glory Hammer, because there isn't much power metal on this bill at all, it's kind of like, oh, thank God we've got that. So we're going to have that, and in theory, it should be a lot of fun. Yeah. I also echo the Black Dahlia Murder. It's probably the band I'm most excited now that Agony's off it of that day. I actually look at Saxon though, and I think Saxon could be a weekend stealer. I think they're really, really on a high at the moment. And with an hour to play just before Judas Priest, it could be one of those where you're watching and you're not feeling it because you're a bit tired and all that. But by the end of it, you're like, fuck me, that was really, really good. I've seen Saxon once before at Download, but it was like, I think 2008. And it was the first and only time I saw them. And I always remember I had no real interest in it. I'd gone to see them and they were in a tent, one of the tents. And I always remember coming away loving it. So like, it'd be cool. This will be my second time.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And that's Bloodstock as of right now. Let's do something we never normally do.
Oh.
Off the top of your head. Not specific number, but if you could book some bands, realistic bands as well, it's stupid. If you could add some bands to this bill, Who might you add? I'll start with, while you're thinking, I'll start with, oh no, I've forgotten it. It's gone from my head. Oh, fuck, power metal band.
I'm going to say Tourist Assay.
No. Couldn't care less anymore about those these days. Fuck, why have I forgotten? Comedy power metal band. They did a song with Glory Hammer. Oh, Italians. Help me out. We've done reactions to them.
Windrose.
Huh?
Windrose.
No, not Windrose. Although Windrose would be a good shout.
Yeah. Windrose would be great fun. I'm not sure, to be honest. I can't think of another Italian power metal band.
Right. Well, while I'm trying to remember.
Yeah. I'm rapidly Googling Italian power metal bands. It's going to give me nothing. Rhapsody of Fire.
No.
They're another good band. They'd be a good shout as well.
Ordinogan would be a good shout as well. I've not played recently, but with the new album out, Final Days in March, I'd love to see Ordinogan come back and work it out.
Yeah, so Nanowar of Steel.
Nanowar of Steel, thank you. God, Nanowar of Steel.
Yeah, sorry. I know what you mean now by the song they did with Glory Hammer. Yeah, it was fucking the IKEA song, wasn't it? Hallelujah. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be great fun. It's difficult because, like, I know that a lot of the bands I like aren't of a scale apparently, but we're talking like potentially lower positions, so
yeah,
I would very much like to see Night Rage play. I'd also like to see probably Ephanema play. I'd like to see Skull Mold, but I think Skull Mold would need to be in like a sort of special guest slot potentially for them to want to come and play there. I think they're big, very, very big in their home country, definitely, and also in the continent. So I can't see them coming and doing half an hour to open up a stage or something like that,
Yeah, I'd have put Skull Mold. I would have put, if I was to put them anywhere, the style of music, they would be a headliner of the Sophie stage.
Yeah, somewhere like that. Yeah.
I'd throw in Bowl.
Yeah.
_AL them. I would also throw in a little bit more energy bands, and I would also, considering well, I'm drawing from the UK here, Black Spiders. Throw out some rock and roll. These are bands that can fit the bill.
It's true, they could. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing like a few of the kind of the big, or the bands that had like good breaks like last year, like say Luna's Call. That sort of level of band come back and play.
Particularly if you have to fill another whole day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I think that would be really cool. Yeah, I mean, the one that I want to play, but I just don't. I'm convinced now it can't happen because, to be honest, and that's Avatar, obviously, but I just don't think it can happen because I look at it and I just think like you can't have Avatar coming on and doing their whole show for a 40-minute slot.
True, agreed. I feel like, again, if we every time an opportunity pops up that looks like it might be Avatar, just like this period looks like before Creator were announced, it was like, okay, there's a possibility there. Again, it wasn't the case. So I don't believe it's lack of Bloodstock maybe trying. It just isn't working out.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I know like it's a bit of a standard now. But seeing that they've got an extra day to fill, I'd be quite happy for them to bring Evil Scarecrow back again as well. I know that they play there regularly, they're kind of like the house band, but the reality of it is that like, a bit of fun at the festival for a half hour or 40-minute or whatever, can't go amiss. Alien Weaponry.
Before you go on.
Sorry, I'm just going to list every band I know now.
The Scarecrow thing, that was one of the names that was briefly touted as
but as a headliner, I mean, I don't think that.
Yeah, but did you notice, it's one thing I noticed, the slew of comments was more 50-50 than I expected. Not just the headliner, but about the quality of Evil Scarecrow. And I started to make me wonder, and I was like, is the whole come play Bloodstock on a regular basis and the shtick of Evil Scarecrow potentially getting old? I don't personally think that myself just yet.
No, I don't. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I just think like, you've got a lot of slots to fill. It's going to be difficult to get people from abroad.
Yep.
If you brought them back, it wouldn't do any harm. Agreed. And the reality of it is that even if I sit here now and I go, I don't need to see another Evil Scarecrow show right now, I know I'd still go and watch them, and I know I'd still have an absolute blast.
Same.
You know, that's the thing. You can't not have fun watching them. If you wanted to go, you know, Alien Weaponry would be cool. Alien Weaponry with Bill Bailey. I don't know why, but for some reason, Alien Weaponry kept posting pictures of them with Bill Bailey today. Like just the three of them standing with Bill Bailey.
Oh, please don't. It causes me flashbacks back to Sonosphere, when Sonosphere was like, "Oh, we're going to put comedy on," and they were like, "Here's and I hated it. I hated it. I really didn't like
if you wanted to go like a little bit off cuff, and you know, and I don't know how this would go down with the Bloodstock crowd, but I'd hope it would be cool, and it would have to be in a tent. I'd love to see a headliner, even if it was like the New Day headliner of Zeal and Ardor.
Yeah.
I mean, it's heavy enough, certainly heavy enough, you know, and I wouldn't want, I'm not sure I'd want it on the main stage. You know, I think that kind of enclosed environment works better for Zeal and Ardor, but I think that would be really cool.
I agree. That would be, and I actually think that would go down. That would be a really popular.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it would. Yeah. They're a popular band. You don't really see a lot of hatred for them anywhere in any corner. Because I mean, why? How could you? You know.
Exactly that. I'd throw in Harakiri for the Sky. Sticking it to the UK, Ingested. Sticking them in the Sophie's tent. They would kick some serious ass. And like some likes to say, lesbian bed death as well. Mastiff. There's lots of like, we start looking and go, yeah, if you're really going to draw from the UK, you can get all these people on board. There's a fucking rest of molasses again.
To Kill Achilles.
To Kill Achilles, yeah, fucking hell.
I'd very much like to see them there. Again, in a tent. That's tent music for me. But I think they would be absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely. Great shout, man. Great shout. I think I'm pretty much, yeah. Any more? I'm trying to stick to, I'm going through my like list of music on my thing. No, I think that's about it, really. Yeah, that's about it. That's some of the band. It really could be anyone from the underground, as it were, of the UK scene. That is kind of exciting, though.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's the wonderful thing is we know that there's more announcements coming. Obviously, there's a lot more announcements coming because not only do we have the replacements for the guys that can no longer play, but we've obviously got plenty more to fill out in terms of the extra day and everything like that. As much as I hate to say it, I wouldn't be surprised if there's other changes between now and then as well. You know, other bands who maybe cannot play.
Yeah.
That they just haven't managed to sort it all out with yet. So yeah, I don't know. It's going to be the great thing is that they'll probably, I hope, from now through to the festival, we'll start seeing a regular stream of announcements. Because considering how much is still left to be announced, and the fact that, you know, we're in March, so we're like 4 or 5 months away from it.
True.
Yeah, there's a lot to be announced still. There really is, isn't there? You know, so hopefully we'll start seeing regular streams of announcements. But obviously the negative of that is that every Sunday when Bloodstock put a post up and say new announcement Tuesday, then you have to try and avoid the comments because we have to deal with the same bands every single time. You'll be like, well, we're going to announce the opener for the smallest possible, like we're going to announce the opener for the Jägermeister stage, and then everyone will be going Metallica, Carcass, Nightwish, and Gojira. Because I think Gojira are another one heavily touted for this. And
yeah.
You know, so yeah, lots of announcements, lots of stupid comments all coming.
And we've done our own very stupid comments. Book this band. So yeah. Let us know though what you would like in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Tumblr. Go to Patreon to help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?